sensational album. It's called Beyond Comprehension. You may recall a track of it a couple of weeks ago called Brighter Days. This is one for your collection, trust me. Some inspirational songs on this album. And I've been joined on the line by the brother himself, Freddie Lee. Freddie Lee, good afternoon to you, my brother.
Good afternoon, Tony, man.
How are you?
Hey, man, wonderful. It's great to be here, man.
Absolutely. Freddie Lee, what a great album you brought us, my brother. We waited a little while for it, but it's finally here, your first solo album, Beyond Comprehension. Is that right?
That's right, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for it, man. Thank you for playing it, man.
Yeah, it's got some great inspirational tracks on there. It's tracks that can uplift the spirit and the soul.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Absolutely right. Now, Freddie, before you go any further, give us your testimony and give us a little bit of your story, your history as a person. Who is Freddie Lee and what's your background?
Okay, Freddie Lee is a young man that actually got his start and started from a little country town in Florida called Pahokee. In this area where I grew up, it's a very, very small area, and in saying that is a place where you got a lot of underprivileged children, and I happen to be one of those kids who came out of a community where you got a whole lot of crime, gun crime, and all sorts of things. But coming out of that, I found music and looked at music as a form of escapism. And I was in the high school chorus and worked in the high school marching band, which then gave me an opportunity to receive a scholarship to go off to college. And I then went off to Miami, Florida, to a university called Florida Memorial University, where I also sang in the choir. In the midst of all of that, you know how sometimes, I've worked with these guys throughout my whole college career and graduated from university, only to find that sometimes fame has a way of changing people's whole perception of, I think some people lose their true identity, or maybe even they show you who they really are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some of the guys got, very greedy, and out of greed and in consideration for some of us, and I ended up in a bad situation. I became homeless right over here in the UK, man.
You lost something like $175,000.
Yeah, man.
In the process.
Yeah, I got beat out by about 75,000, equivalent to 75,000 American dollars, and that landed me in a position where I was sleeping on the street, sleeping out of my car, man, and I didn't have nowhere to turn, nowhere to go, but I ended up running into some people I found to be friends, and they believed in some of the stuff that I was doing, and they heard about some of the things I had done throughout my career over in Spain and, of course, here in the UK, with producing different tribute shows to Motown, so on and so forth. So I choreographed a show called The Sound of the Four Tops, and these people financed it, gave me the necessary monies. BCM Promotion is the name of the company, and allowed me the opportunity to go and put this stuff together, which afforded me the opportunity to go into the studio and pay for this very project, Beyond Comprehension.
Now, did you have the songs already sort of then, or?
The songs just came as I got into the studio, man, and I worked alongside some awesome brothers, man. My brother, found to be a brother, Mr. Tony Bean and Colin Bassett, and along with Mikey Grant, these guys from 5 a.m. Productions, and through their working with me and coaching me through this thing, because I had a big phobia working in studios, and they assured me that, Fred, listen, man, we're not those kind of guys that's going to let somebody come in here and do something, because when I was in Miami, man, I experienced some crazy things working in the studio. I mean, big fights would break out, and I really had a phobia about that. But when I got here and worked with the guys from 5 a.m. Production, they showed me a total different atmosphere and approach to how to deal with it. And every song came as we went along, and the album started to take shape from the environment I was working in. And of course, the things that I had gone through, and brought me to selecting the lyrics and the topics for the songs.
So, Brighter Days, which is a song I play a little piece of that now, is that one of your own compositions?
Yeah.
And what's the song saying?
Basically, the Brighter Days situation is, in terms of the song itself, it just gave me an idea of saying, even though we get knocked down, man, it always leaving us looking up. Because when you go down, you can only go up, and through all the mess and the stuff that I had gone through, I can sort of kind of see my way through, because the situation of being homeless and brought into a situation where now I have employment and I can sort of take care of myself. It only explains itself that its brighter days are on the way, and it can only get better.
And how big an influence has the good Lord been in your life, Freddie?
It has been a very, very big influence, man, and my beliefs in that go very, very deep, because I come from a very unfortunate situation. You talking to a man that don't even supposed to be alive.
Really?
I should have been dead on more than one occasion. When I was a baby, my mother almost lost me, but the doctors did everything in their power to make sure I would, make it into the world, and through that, I was born, and my mother always tell me, you're a special child. And I want to share something with you that was even more crazier. Just last weekend, man, and this weekend just passed, I was on my way from a gigging, and on the passenger side of the car that I was driving, the tire come off on the motorway.
Wow.
And surprisingly, man, nothing happened. The car didn't turn over. But you know what? The way of the powers that be and the forces that are greater than we are, the tire itself that come off of the passenger side was the thing that saved my life.
Really?
Because when the car pulled over, it didn't hit the road, and it just stopped, because the tire had fallen in such a position that it was holding the car.
Amazing. It's like the good Lord's got something in mind for you, Freddie Lee.
Yeah, man.
Let's take a track from your album, a little piece of this one called Brighter Days.
Okay.
You said you'd never leave me. You promised to stand by me. Even when our time gets so hard now. You know I trust in you, 'cause I believe your words are true. Like breath of joy in my soul. Someone